Hey everybody, how's it going? In the last video we talked about variables and how they're containers that contain data values and such. In this video we're going to talk about how to write variables in a correct and efficient way that doesn't lead to any errors. So there are a few things that I want to talk about here. The first of which is that Python is a case-sensitive programming language. What does that mean? Well, it means basically that this variable right here is not the same as this variable right here. Why is that? Because here the A is capital, uppercase, and the A in the second one is lowercase. So these are entirely different variables. So they're not the same variable. By that I mean, if you print age, and you print the other age with the capital, they're going to produce in the console right here completely different values because they're not the same thing. So one thing you might want to keep in mind when you're writing a variable is that Python is a case-sensitive language, okay? That's the first thing you want to keep in mind. Now, on to the next thing. Okay, so if you want to write a variable, you can't start with this. Any symbol like this is not acceptable when you're writing a variable. As you can see, there is the X sign here. It says invalid syntax. Okay, which brings us to another thing. What is another lingo, another programming lingo? So what is a syntax error? A syntax error happens when you don't follow the rules of the programming language. And the rule here is that you can't start a variable with this, with these symbols right here. You can't do that. However, if you start with this symbol right here, it is acceptable. But you shouldn't normally do that. Okay? When you're writing a Boolean variable, it is normally acceptable to start with the name, the word is. So for example, is married equal true. Okay? You don't have to do that, right? Like if you remove is, it's going to be perfectly acceptable. It's completely fine, but it's easier to maintain, right? It's more meaningful when you're writing code. So when you look at the variable and you forget what it meant, oh, is married. So this Boolean variable is basically asking me if that person, let's say call him John Doe, is married or not. And that's why we add is here. It's just for logical meaning. It doesn't have to do with anything that has to do with the syntax. And what was the syntax again? A syntax is something that has to do with the rules and regulations for the programming language itself. Okay? Okay, great. So, yeah, one thing is that you want to stay away from is using meaningless variable names. So you don't write something like this, x equal 100 or 1000 like in math, right? Just say num1, number 1, basically, or num2 or number 2, something that you know what it is. Don't write X, Y, and Z. Make your life simpler. Make your life easier. Okay? And that's it. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.